Okay, everybody. Just trying to do a test on the YouTube live icon. It's a new one for YouTube, so well, it's new to me anyway. Just to see whether or not this works. So not quite sure how it advises everybody, but we will see. Ah, Jody, did it advise you that I was coming on? This is a new thing from YouTube. I think they're getting, they were getting fed up with people like Vaughn getting all the business. So this actually, okay. So I need to put a notification up. And then you just went to my channel? Okay. Hang on a second. So, yikes. Let me think about this. I hope I don't disconnect us. Hang on one second, sweetie. I just want to get the right link. Okay, let's try that. Just bear with me a second here. I've got it on a different thing. Sorry, I'm just trying to get a notification up. Be right with you. Okay, so Jody, I can find you again. Okay, so Jody, if you know how this works, right? You know how to get to me anyway. Can you try and go back to Facebook? Leave here, go back to Facebook and try and come here again via that link. See if it works. I'm not quite sure what the right link is. You're an angel. Thank you. So 3, 2, 1. Hi there, Lauren. How did you find me? I am so proud of you, Lauren. I just want to tell you how proud I am of you. It's not easy to do what you just did. You did get a notification. Yay! That's what I wanted to know. All right. So, hi, Ace. How are you doing? Good. Long time no see. And how's tour? Lauren, so they've got you on intravenous in the hospital? Alice, just to let you know that Lauren's sitting in hospital she got an infection and the antibiotics weren't working. So, hi, Anna. Welcome. Big hugs. We're probably going to see some different people today because it's on YouTube. And I actually was planning, if you know this thing about be careful what you wish for because you'll end up doing it. Well, I was just thinking today that I really should start doing some broadcasts on YouTube. Um, oh, really, Alice? I don't know why that feels lonely for you. Is that right? But you still get to see him, right? Please tell me you still get to see him. Yeah, so I think because the notification goes up on the YouTube viewer side, we might get some new people coming in today. So just be prepared for that. So, Lauren, just how are you feeling now that you've got the super drugs inside you? You know, Alice, life just keeps bringing more and more changes, right? Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that you get to see him, honey. That's really important. Yeah. And you know, he's a very important part of your life. So, now, okay. So, Jody, what Lauren was telling me was she got a notification that I was on. So I don't know. There seemed to be quite a bit of delay on that. Um, so we'll just have to find out what's the best way to do this. But if we don't try it, we'll never know. Well, you know, the fact your stress has diminished is a good thing for you. I am pleased to hear that. All right, so I've got this is really strange that I literally have got a note. My first comment for today was about Lauren, and here she is. The second one was the fact I was considering doing some broadcasts on YouTube, and here we are. So I'm going to probably put out a little survey on this, but I was thinking that maybe what we might do is a series of little workshops on it. Um, or maybe you got a notification as well, Anna. Okay, that's awesome. All right, so do you want to see this week's art? It's been a fun time. Hi, Sakura, you made it. Well done. Okay, so this was one that I did, and I'll be putting up the video on it sometime during the week. This was an overpour of a, a piece of art that didn't go very well. This actually, I don't know if you can see the coloring of it. It's a sort of purpley, violety, no, not violet, lavender color. So that's this one. Um, so I was very happy with that. But the one that I did yesterday, hang on a second. The one that I did yesterday, I really like. This is bronze. Don't know if you can see this. It's going to be great. It hasn't got any. Yeah, it hasn't got any gloss coat on it yet, and yet you can already see the gloss on it. Imagine this with about 4 coats of. Yeah, isn't it gorgeous? I loved it too. So this is about a 10 by 10. Hang on, put it next to my face. You can see the size of it. I really, really like this one, and it dried very well. Yeah, so The pattern on a sea or the scales on a seahorse, really? Yeah, that's actually a good point. But it's interesting because it looks so easy, doesn't it? Yeah. And I can really tell that I'm happiest when I'm doing just a couple of colors together, like 3 colors together rather than a whole stack of colors together. I don't know why that is. I guess that's everybody's personal thing, and I'm just looking at things beside me, right? So this was blue, black, and white, right? Uh, this was black, red, and gold. So when I look at it, the big eagle was just 3 colors. So for some reason, that's my style that works best for me. I find when I do more than that, I don't do as well. I end up having to paint over them. Now I am going to put up a survey on this one, but I'm just wondering how many of you would like me to do some mini workshops on life skills. That's what I was beginning to think about, because I notice that every time I do anything on the vlogs about life skills, that I get sort of quite a response on them in terms of, I needed to hear that, or I'm so glad you mentioned that, or whatever. And that's why I'm thinking that although it'll be a little bit more work, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So, and I think I'm going to do them here on YouTube, and then, well, the things that I'm going to ask what people would most like. I get a feeling from what I see, Alice, that for most people, it's about self-esteem. It's about, you know, um, I will get people to tell me what they'd like help with. Well, because Sakura, the reason is because I'm just like you, right? I'm a human being struggling as well. And, I was thinking about this whole thing about look what happened with my car, and yet look what it bought me. And so to me, it's like, um, and Alice is a great one on this one, which is it's not what happens to you, it's how you process what happens to you. And I think, if anything, I hear that more than anything, that people go, gosh, I'm so surprised with your attitude or whatever. And I'm going, it's really important. And Sakura, I look at what you've done. How is the the tidying up doing? Because I think you're doing better than I am. But things like that, where it's overwhelming when you look at it, and yet if you just do a little bit, it's amazing. The other thing I wanted to do was some live painting, so you could actually physically see me mix the stuff and know exactly what I was doing, because I have had people ask for that. I personally, well, I don't always, Jody. That would not be true. I don't always, but I do try to see the silver lining, because if I look for it, I normally find it. Hi, Kerry. Well done for finding us. We had major problems with Vaughan again, and I'm really seriously thinking of just doing the broadcast now on YouTube and forgetting Vaughan. It means we will miss a couple of people, but I think we will also gain some, as we have today. So, Anna, tell everybody where you're from, honey, and I'll get everybody else to tell you where they're from, so that you know. I'm sitting in southern British Columbia. Yeah. Mm. Well, I think YouTube will allow me to do this, remotely, even if I'm away on my phone or something. So to me, I'm going to try doing a bit more. And I think it will involve more of my regular viewers as well. Oh, you're a Canuck. Why did I not know that? And are you a December person? Well, look at that. There's Wesley. Wesley, I don't think I've seen you come to a broadcast before. I've got a feeling Anna might be a December person because I just happen to be wearing the shirt today. Yeah, I thought I recognized your name from there. I want to tell you, Anna, if you can believe it, I am still fielding questions on December. Hi, Sharon. Good to see you, honey. I will forgive you for being late. Kerry, did you know that Lauren's sitting in hospital at the moment? She is here with us, but you have the same shirt, right? A lot of us do. And so I hope that every time you wear it, that you remind yourself that you helped feed hungry children. Yeah, Lauren was had to put herself into hospital. Did you put yourself in, or did they come and get you, Lauren? Because you know that infection she had. She the antibiotics that they were giving her, the oral ones, were not doing it. So now she's hooked up to the good stuff. You've been helping for the past 3 years. Do you like it better now that you're on the street team? Yeah, Sakura, that's another thing, right? I'm amazed how many people ask me about my shirt as well. Really, Alice? That's wonderful. Have fun there. Yeah, I find with December, yeah, I'm glad about that. That there are times when I'm not so sure that it's awesome. But you know what I really like about the street team is I like the connection that I get. I know that I remember Benji saying to me, "You don't have to answer everybody." I said, "Yes, I do." Benji said, "No, they don't expect you to, Sal. You don't have to answer everybody." And I go, "Yes, I do." When did I start YouTube? I started YouTube on at 10:30 at night on August the 25th, 2012. Did I get inspired by It's Judy's Life? No. I got inspired by Benji walking into my home saying, "Give me your computer," and then saying, "Give me your password for your computer." And I did. And he went click, 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 click. And he said, "We need a name for you." And I had no idea what he was doing, Wesley. Absolutely no idea what he was doing. And he said, "We need a name for you. And it needs to be like a Dear Abby thing because people are going to ask questions of you." And I went, "Okay." And he said, "How about can't remember what he first came up with, but Dear Mama Sal was the second one." And then the most peculiar thing was he went plop, 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 plop. Dum. And then he turned around. If you know Benji, you can probably visualize this. He turned around and said, "Okay, you're a YouTuber now." And with that, he picked up his bag and started to go down my stairs. And I said, "What?" And he said, "You're a YouTuber now." I said, "What is that, honey?" And he said, "You'll find out." I said, "But Benji, I don't know what to do." And he said, "You'll work it out." Ah, hi, Triona. How you doing? Wow, small world. Anyway, so then I went, "What the it just happened?" And it was really funny because I cried so much during that first month. I had no idea how to edit. I had no idea how to, I sat for I did a broadcast I think my first live broadcast was about 2 weeks later, and I sat there all by myself for half an hour. Nobody came, of course. Um, and so, it was like, what am I doing here? I don't know what I'm doing. And I still don't know what I'm doing, and I've still done it all wrong. But, I look at it and go, I know that we've done a lot of good. You see, to me, it wasn't, as some of you know, it wasn't about how much money can I make, how many people can I help? And that's what Benji put me on the air for, because he said there's so many people who need what you have to give. And yeah, and I will do a lot more. Yeah. Hey, Sakura, I'm going to be coming down your way. Thought I'd let you know that in April, sometime in the middle of April. You know something, Vegas, I have such fond memories of Vegas. Do I like to play video games? Yeah, I used to. I used to be a gamer of sorts um, when nobody knew. Yeah, I was wondering whether we should try and meet up. I've got to come down to give a speech. And I've got to come down for a wedding, and they are two separate weekends, or rather, one's on the Monday and the wedding is on the Saturday. So I thought I might, I thought I might come down and spend the week down in Washington. So definitely, we will do what we can to see if we can meet up. It's cold and wet. Well, I want to tell you something. It's overcast and looks like it's going to be stormy here in southern British Columbia. You know, it's funny because Alice will tell you, because I met Alice when we went to Vegas. 4 of us went to Vegas. And the funny thing was that we did not go, I don't think, Alice, we didn't go near a casino, did we? Except for when we walked through one. We walked through one to get to somewhere where we were going to eat. Well, Sharon, that's very kind of you to say. But it's like I am amazed. I am amazed how many people we got to help. And I was talking to somebody, actually the guy that mended my car. I was talking to him and said, you have to remember the little wins. It's everybody goes, oh, you got over 1 million views. Yeah. But to me, it was like, I will remember, if somebody asks me, and they do occasionally, what do I remember or what do I like most? I like, the story about Leslie. I like to know we helped Paul. I like to know that, that I got to meet Alice and Leah. By the way, Alice, are you still in touch with Leah? I've got to contact her. So, to me, that is, it was, being able to help Lauren this week, even though I had to hit her with a 2x4. That to me is what I remember. Okay, that's awesome. I'm probably going to go through to Anacortes, I think. But I was, if I bring the trailer down, I will, try and meet you sort of in some. Yeah, I had to hit Lauren with a 2x4 this week. Yeah. But she was being a dink. And I say that with a lot of love. Now, I've got to find out how we make moderators here, because I know there is a way. I haven't found out how to do it yet. And also, wait a minute. And also, I need to find out how to ban people, because I know we can do that as well. Yeah, you have, haven't you? How's the downsizing going? It's sort of difficult now. I've done a lot of stuff. Tomorrow will be a big day, Triona. Tomorrow, Dougie, my other son, one of my other sons, Dougie, is coming, and we're going to hit the garage and the storeroom. Now, we've only got a couple of hours, which probably is going to be a good thing, because what our job is to get rid of the things that we can, that are big and that I can't get rid of on my own. Yeah, Sharon, how many of you have been hit by a 2x4? Including me. Yeah. Well, I take our friendship very seriously, Sakura. When I say I take our friendship, I think anybody who becomes a regular viewer, anybody who bothers to comment on the vlogs, I realize they must be following for some reason. Yeah, yeah, Kerry's got calluses from where I've hit her so many times. But it's not about that. It's like I always say that if like it was like with Lauren, I just saw so many warning signs going up, that I went, I don't like the fact that this is happening, and that's happening. And it was really funny, because then I just literally had to say to Lauren, like, I'm not going to. Now, here was the interesting thing, and Lauren will tell you this. The interesting thing was, how do you not enable it? How do you actually hold her accountable for get the off your butt and get yourself looked after? And it was interesting, because I was beginning to fall into the enabler. You all know? And that's something I want to talk a lot more about, on some of these broadcasts, is that people really understand that sometimes being a friend is not being, oh, you poor thing, whatever. Sometimes being a friend is saying, get off your butt. Oh, we're just talking about you. Get off your butt and look after yourself. So I started to feel angry. I started to feel angry that I couldn't do anything to help her, and yeah. And Lauren, it was funny, because as soon as I started to feel angry, that was a red flag for me. I'm getting sucked in. I got my sleep back. You're right. I want to tell you something. Hang on, let me finish the other story first. Alice, remind me to finish that story. But it was really interesting, because that was the warning sign, Lauren. I started to get angry that you weren't looking after yourself. I sort of made a couple of comments, and then it was like, no, I'm going to hold her accountable. She's an adult. She's not a child. And I don't want to treat her like a child. So and hopefully it worked. But I was getting angry, and I was about to get more angry if you didn't look after yourself. It was really quite funny. Alice, yeah. I want to tell you the difference that taking in some air at night has done for me. It's like my mind is beginning to work again. I can't say that I'm running any marathons, but I'm beginning to get some of my old energy back. And I'm starting to get, creative again. I don't know if you guys have noticed, I've started putting videos up because I can. I don't know how to describe this to you, but my mind was so fried before that I couldn't even edit videos. That was my problem. I couldn't keep my mind on track to actually edit a video, or I couldn't understand why anybody would ever watch one, in all that self-esteem stuff that goes on. Well, bless you. I thank you for being worried. I was worried too because I couldn't get anybody to listen to me, right? I couldn't get my doctor to understand what was happening. Um, and I had been hinting at it for some time. How long do I edit? How do you mean? How long does it take me to edit? Wesley, is that what you're asking? Oh, hi, Reiki. Not only can it ruin your life, it can ruin your organs. I didn't know that. Oh, yeah, I feel 100% better. I can tell you that. Okay, so hang on a second. Wesley, ask me that question again a different way. Reiki, I want to tell you about the sleep apnea. I had no idea how much damage I was doing to myself. I just knew I was getting more and more tired, and I couldn't understand why. I was going to sleep. This happened about 2 years before I retired that it started. And I was going to sleep and I was waking up just as tired as when I went to um as when I went to sleep. Hi Zoe, welcome. Big hugs. It's fun. We're seeing all sorts of people we haven't seen before. It doesn't take a lot of time these days. I found I'm using the YouTube Movie Maker program, and I want to tell you that the time it used to take me not so long to edit, but the uploads used to take me a couple of hours, Wesley. And since I've been using the YouTube program, ask Jody and Lauren because they talk me through this quite often when I'm busy editing. I literally can finish the rendering. You sort of do the edit and you render, and that upload goes up now in 10 minutes as opposed to 2 hours. I don't know why. I don't really care why. All I know is it has changed my life. Those updates used to take me 2 to 5 hours to upload into YouTube. Oh, that's awesome, Alice. Nothing like homemade soup. It's lightning fast. Who do you ask about what? About the editing program? Okay, do me a favor. You've got my email address, right? Now just write to me and I'll send you the link. It's a little bit complicated. There's one part of it that I don't quite understand. So like any new editing program, you've got to work your way through it, but the upload is worth it. And quite honestly, with your gaming side, are you doing live streaming here on YouTube with the gaming? Okay. And is that working for you? I've got to, for those of you who don't know, there's some new regulations that have come in Europe, and it's going to affect all of us who are broadcasters. And I've got to read through this gobbledygook and try and understand what it is we physically have to do. But it's scary because if you don't do what they want you to do, you can end up with very large fines and very nasty repercussions like jail or stuff, which is scary. And I have a lot of viewers in England. And so, on the YouTube side, well, I'm on YouTube now. Hi, Canada. Welcome. Big hug. So This is really cute. Where are you from? So, Wesley, just drop me a line, and I'm just asking you to do that so I don't forget. Ah, well, there you are. So I'm wearing the right shirt today. um, it's funny because I was going, I wonder what I should wear today. And I thought, I think I'll wear my December shirt. And I'm going, why? And I go, I don't know. I think I'll wear my December shirt. Well, I've got a few. I was just saying, Canada, that, it's difficult to believe, but can you believe I'm still answering questions on the street team? And we're now in late March. Oh, that is so kind of you. Thank you. So the question, I guess, that I have, and I will put it up on Facebook, but if we do some regular broadcasting here on YouTube, and if it's going to be educational type stuff. There was a reason for that, Canada. Okay. Anna, there are two people in this room, namely Jody and Lauren, who will tell you I am not always that patient. I cannot tell you how many times I sent a private note to them with me pulling my hair out, because if one more person asks me that question, so help me, I think I'm going to scream. You can probably understand that, right? And then I sort of take a deep breath, and then I go, okay, fine. Let me try and get this answer back. I mean, you probably know me well enough to know I've got a wicked sense of humor. Why was I not live? Thank you very much, Wesley. I'll get back to you after the broadcast. Why was I not live on December this year? I was sick. I don't know if you understood that, but I was not well. And I knew I would not be able to handle the stress of it. So I didn't go on the road trip. And I knew I could still do the job because, I love that part of the job. I knew I could still do what was important to Benji and Judy, which was look after the street team. And if you think about it, we did a phenomenal job with the street team this year. We went from 700 the first year up to over 9,000 now. Yeah, I was really not well. And, so I did what I could, Anna, if that makes sense. It was like, okay, what can I do? And I thought you guys would forgive me for not being live as long as I was still there. No, you didn't forget me. You guys were wonderful. I loved it. So, to me, it's like, it's really important that I really love what I do with the street team. You know what I mean? That's my love. I know you guys personally now, some of you. I know how much you care. And I think you deserve to be treated accordingly. And it was really funny because one of the things that Benji wrote to me and went, I understand that you're busy answering questions 24/7. And I went, yeah. Sal, we don't need you to do that. I said, no, it suits me. And for those of you who are street teamers, it suits me because when I get up in the middle of the night to pee, I check to see, are there any questions? And I will quickly answer them before I go back to sleep. Does that make sense? And then the next time I get up, I look, are there any questions? And I quickly answer them before I go back to sleep. And so it works really well for me, as Jody and Lauren will tell you. The smart thing I did, Anna in Canada, the smart thing I did this year was to get into the shipping program. They haven't allowed me in there before. And they get very angry with me. Not angry with me. They roll their eyes at me because, as soon as the questions come in, I'm asking questions, and I was asking so many questions. They just gave me access. So thank you. That'll help me because I'm prepared to spend the time to find those answers where I can. I saw that Leah joined Patreon, Alice. So I wondered if you're still in touch with her. Because I was thinking I need to go right to her and find out how she's finding that. So just very quickly, for those of you who joined later, this is the art for this week. I did this one, which I really loved. I tried to find a name for this. Oh, thank you. This is my Razor. It's actually a gaming. It's a gaming microphone. Okay. And then this one I really liked. I did this one yesterday. This one is in bronze. Don't know if you can see the bronze in that. Bronze, black and white. But I really like this one. I can't wait to get about 4 coats of varnish on that. I think it'll look magnificent. Yeah. So now, did you know? I know, so did I. Did you know today is the day that they came up with the word okay? Did you know that? Anybody want to guess what year? Hey, Isabella. Welcome. And Missy, welcome. All these new people. I should do this more often. Actually, they're starting to go onto my website now. I've got a shop on my website. How is the house things coming along? It'll be a chaotic day tomorrow, Alice. Dougie is coming and we're going to hit the garage and the storeroom and get the big things out that I don't want. I'm getting rid of my fish tank. I'm getting rid of... Good guess, Kerry. Actually, 1839. Can you believe that? That's when they came up with it. 1839. I thought that was interesting. Now then, here's a technical question for those of you who are not regulars. Linda, I was talking about you the other day. How are you? That's okay, Canada. As long as you're still listening, we're happy. Missy Moo. I like that name. So, how's your son? I've got to ask that question. That's what I was thinking about this week, funny enough. I was thinking about, she hasn't mentioned her son. So I hope he's okay. All right, now then, this is the day as well that they founded the Fascist Party. Now let's see how clever we all are. Who started the fascist? That's difficult to say. Who started the Fascist Party? Anybody know? For those of you who are not regulars, we always do some trivia in here because we like doing stuff like that. We like to get smart. And Kerry likes to prove how smart she is. No, not Stalin. Nice guess, though. Anybody else want to guess? It was Mussolini. And I didn't know that. I have to tell you, I didn't know that Mussolini started it. Yeah, right, Reiki. And he started it back in 1919. Now, why did I think that didn't start until the sort of 1930s or something? But apparently 1919 is when it started. Anybody learn something today? No, I didn't know it either. Hi, Purple Velvet. Vibrant as in all over the place, or vibrant as in... Ah, that's so cute. Sakura. Okay, keep the work. All right, so now then, let me see, what else did I find? Oh, this is the day Liz Taylor died. Any idea how old she was when she died? This I also didn't know for some reason. Wesley, vlog channels, just want to tell you, are difficult to get going. Around 80, that's pretty good. It's actually, she was 79, so give yourselves a pat on the back. That's very good. You know something, Linda? It's good to hear that you are still listening, right? Because I'm sure that slowly but surely we're getting you steps forward. And yeah, please write to me anytime. You know that. Linda, I'm always delighted to chat with you. And you do know that, right? Divas last long. Okay. Alice called me a diva when I was in Vegas, which means I got a long life ahead of me. Now then, here we go. Kerry, seeing as you like history and music, this is your bonus question. This is also the day that the Messiah, the piece of musical art, was published. So here is my question. Who wrote the Messiah, the piece of music, and what year? By the way, Alice, I'm busy packing up my house. And so this is Handel, very good. Got a handle on that one, Jody. Yep, it was Handel. And the question is, what year? I don't know why this also surprised me, which is why you get the questions. You understand I leave out the obvious questions. I always like to bring in the ones that I go, really? I didn't know that. Very close. It was actually 1743. So give Alice a big round of applause. Very close. Well, you know something, Linda, we've always tried to add a little bit of trivia in there because we found that people enjoy, we don't do a whole blog of it, but what we like to do is just add a few things so you go, wow, I didn't know that. Like, I had no idea that the expression okay came from 17 something or other. I would have thought that was fairly modern. Was anybody else surprised about that? Oh, rather 1839. To me that's like, I can see people, sort of sitting with friends going, somebody says okay, and you go, you know something? Do you know when they first came up with that? You're gonna look so smart. Now there's a whole history behind it. So if you're interested, check it out. But I thought that was an interesting point. All right. So now the question is, those of you who've come in, were you notified? Oh, I got an itch. Hi, Pat. We had problems with we had problems with Vaughan yet again, and I just went, enough, So, Pat, I presume they advised you that I was live, and as opposed to the yeah, as opposed to the alternative, right? So we've got a lot of YouTubers not YouTubers. We've got a lot of street teamers in here, Pat. Just so that you know. So everybody, Pat joins us from Newfoundland. Pens, yeah. Now, Jody's warning me about the pens because Pat goes insane when I click things, which I do. So here's the right one. Hi, Sierra, the chosen one. Welcome, dear DearMamaSal and friends from around the world. So let's have a quick roll call. Where's everybody from? Just so everybody can see how far spread we are. Yeah, it's funny, Linda. By the way, Pat, Missy Moo is Linda from the UK. Yeah, it's funny. I just had 4 people try to get into the broadcast tonight, and every one of them had a problem. And I went, no, that's not good. So I'm just delighted that you all got notification, and I'm delighted that apparently none of you are having a problem watching the broadcast. Yay. Now, the interesting thing is, as far as I know, the only people who get the notification are people who like the vlogs, I would think. Right? So am I correct? All of you that have come in at some time have watched a vlog. You know something, Linda? I continued to broadcast 3 times a week, but I've been having a lot of problems with Vaughan, and I also I will continue to do the tiny chat, I think, unless they continue to give me problem as well. Anyone who hit the bell icon. Yeah, that's what I thought, Pat, that if you are a subscriber, you're going to hear about it, which means it's a much better place for us to actually broadcast. So before I stop anything here, let me ask you, is there a question any of you would like me to cover either in a vlog or in a discussion? Anything that you're having or a friend of yours is having issues with that we can... Yeah, Sharon, that's why I'm getting, that's why I literally I've got a note to tell you guys that I'm going to try going up on YouTube. And look what happened. I had to. It's funny what you wish for, right? So what I'm looking for is, what would you like me to talk about? Is there any subject that you would particularly like me to cover? And by the way, thank you for the support on the downsizing. Over nosy family. Oh, yeah. Okay. Good one, actually, Kerry. As an adult, what do you do when family is over nosy? All right. Nice one. Good. Anybody else got anything you'd like me to cover? And Kerry, can I put your name to it? For some reason, it's always nicer when we can say, or maybe not. Yeah, Vaughan's been causing way too many problems. So I'm just going to say a viewer, wow, Linda, you found it riveting? Wow. Wait until you see what I'm going to do tomorrow. More weight loss. Okay. I'd like some more weight loss as well. Actually, I'm about to... I don't know if you saw that, Sakura. But I'm talking about, what do I eat to keep to 1,600 calories a day? So that's what I'm actually doing. Okay, so Alice, Hang on, Sakura. Um, I don't know why, Sakura. I still have memories of you boarding up your window with newspaper. Isn't it funny how things? Yeah. Okay, so Alice, what was this one? Alice asked for parents who lie to you. Oh, yeah. Don't you hate that? Well, you say as an adult, but how do you feel about parents who lie to children? Yeah, Sharon. So you're going to love it. Sharon, ask for help. I didn't even ask for help. I actually spoke to Dougie and said, Dougie, I need you here. You know, it's funny that almost everybody, when I meet them, you know, something sticks in my mind that reminds me who they are. And with you, I always see you boarding up the window, and all I could think about, Sakura, is how horrible wet newspaper smells, and how did you cope with that? Well, I think, I want to question that because I think my feeling is how did you feel when you found out that your parents lied to you about things? So that's the question I'm going to ask because I think we lie to kids far too much. I can remember people saying to me, "Oh, you don't want to tell kids the truth," and I'm going, "Yeah, I do actually." You know, I depending obviously on their age appropriate, but yes. Well, you know something, Alice, I was devastated as well. Well, thanks. I'm definitely going to hit that as two different ones then. I'll do one about the parents, and then I'll do a follow-up one about, well, now that we've all had the judgment about the parents, for those of you who are adults, how many of you have lied to kids? And think about what it felt like. How many of you were devastated when you found out Santa Claus didn't exist? How many, it's just like, how could they have lied to me? So you're telling me that, is that right? That copy paper doesn't smell, but newspaper does. Is that right? Why? Okay, for those of you who wonder what I'm talking about, Sakura, when I first met her, was in the Philippines and she was boarding up a window with bricks made of paper. It was so clever as a sound barrier. Well, okay, Jody, so that's perfectionism. Okay, so hold on a second, everybody. Don't roll too many questions at the moment. Art, perfection. All right, so Jody, let me ask you something. What if those 348,000 little bits of paper, what if I stopped? Yes, Sharon, as long as you believe in them, they will continue to come, right? And when we found out they weren't true, then I thought that was just as cruel. I remember hearing, well, if you don't believe in them, then they'll stop coming. And I went, you convinced me. Yeah, Jody. So I look at that and we'll definitely do it. It's a good one because I don't think it's just art. I think people do it with learning anything new. As soon as it becomes difficult, they stop. Which means, Jody, here's my view. Why do I paint? Right? Why? Why do I do this, Jody? And Jody, if anybody here knows, you do, how many times do you hear me say, I just painted mud pies today? Okay. So I do it because every now and then it works. I don't do it because it works every time, Jody. All right. But how many times a week do I get one that works? And I go, and now I'm only painting a couple of times a week. And by the way, this one was that one with the waves that cracked. So I just went over it. Well, no, you can carry on messing with your brain if you want to, Jody. You can keep telling yourself, I can't do this properly, so there's no point in doing it. But my question is, then you're doing it for the wrong reasons. You're doing it to impress somebody. All right, so here's the thing, Jody. Jody, why do I broadcast? Because if you think about it, if I broadcast because I want to get rich, then I failed. But if I broadcast because I want to help people, then I've succeeded. So again, I always remember Sean Cannell talking about this. Know your why. Know why you're doing something. To me, my why about broadcasting is, what if I help one person? Why do I put up a vlog? Do I really think I'm that interesting? No. But what I found out, how to find happiness. Ah, wait a minute. Sarah, do you have my email address? It's dearmamasal@gmail.com. Hang on a second. Helps if I can type at the right time. That is a really, hang on a second. I'm going to type it for you, honey. Okay. Could you write the story for me and let me know what I can talk about? Because that to me is a really important subject, because it's about loving yourself. It's like, uh, do you need to be with another person to make yourself valuable in this world? All right. Or are you valuable as you are? And boy, I understand this whole thing about not trusting many people. How many of you in the room understand that one? So, Sierra, to me, that one is so important. If you can give me some bits around that I can tell the story on, and let me know if I can use your name, because I think it's a really important one. Yes, ma'am. You don't have to call me that. It's Sal. How many of you? Yeah, exactly, right? I totally, totally understand that one. And, learning to trust again is a really important thing. And should you, right? Yeah, I do actually answer my emails most of the time. If I ever don't answer an email, it's because I missed it. How many of you know that? It's the same thing with comments. I think I touch wood somewhere. I touch wood on my chair that in all my time of being a YouTuber, I believe I have answered just about every comment. And that's why when I was doing the street team, that it wasn't a maybe for me. I had to answer the comments because I think you deserve an answer. Well, I'm a great believer. If somebody cares enough to write to me, I think they deserve. Or get sick, Pat. Remind Bill that when I was sick, I didn't move my hands a lot. So, as Alice said, you can tell I'm feeling better because I'm more animated again. Okay, let's see if I can do that. No, I don't think I want to. He can relate, right? It's very good. But tell Bill that all the time that I was struggling, for that 6 months that I was really struggling, I did not have the animation because I didn't have any energy to do that. So you guys need to know the fact that I carried on doing vlogs at all was a miracle. Okay, let me try and understand that. I have a lot of anger towards my mother just recently, just out of nowhere over things in the past that should have been. Okay, help me with that word. That should have been what from a good mother? An act? Yeah, I want to tell you there were times I'm amazed I carried on broadcasting at all. I'm amazed I just didn't stop. Okay, so Triona, write to me about that one, please, so I can understand it better because then I can do a better vlog. Okay? You got the email address, Triona? Yeah, but Triona, that's why I'd like some more words around it because to me it's about did she do the best she could? So give me a bit more of the story if you wouldn't mind so I can do a better vlog. All right, because you're not the only one with that anger. I can assure you of that. You're definitely not the only one. And by the way, when you look at it, Triona, do you think she did the best she could? The same as you're doing now? And the second question that I have to ask you, Triona, is do you think that she repeated what she was taught from her mother? Do you understand? Because it's very difficult for any, it's the monkey see, monkey do. If she gave you what she was given, she thought it was the right thing. Yeah. Now the difference is you took a step in, out of the mold, right? You actually didn't repeat what you were given. And that's what they say, Triona, so often, and I'll talk about this in the vlog. That's why they say that, if you are the child of an abuser, the chances of you abusing is high. Why? It's what you grew up to see and thought was normal. Makes sense, Triona. So if being lied to, and by the way, have any of you read that book called Children of the Lie? Not an easy read. Um, the amazing thing is when I read that book, I went, wow. That makes so much sense. Kerry, it's a little bit, it's Scott Peck, and he's difficult to read sometimes. You know what I mean? He's not exciting to read, but he knows what he's talking about. It's the difference. Um, but when I read that book, I went, wow, makes a lot of sense. You know, if we've spent our life being lied to, how did we learn to be honest? Interesting question. Yeah. But Kerry, if you start reading it, don't chuck it. Keep reading. All right. I mean, even if you just say, I'll read half an hour a day or something, because it's a good book. Yeah. Alice, yes, some of us have learned to think for ourselves. And by the way, I don't know about you, Alice, but I felt like I was weird because of that, because I refused to repeat it. And it wasn't that my mum was doing anything wrong. What she was doing, I can see it now. What she was doing was she was feeding her self esteem, her lack of self esteem. And therefore, an awful lot of the things that happened were about protecting her rather than protecting me. Does that make sense? I had to behave myself because otherwise, maybe, my stepfather wouldn't love her anymore. The reason we had two sets of rules in the household, one for his children and one for ours, was because of her fear and her insecurities. So, when you look at it, you go, wow, I can see it now. And I guess as an adult now and as an older adult now, I can forgive her. So, um, Sierra, about trust, I think it's a good thing for you to feel this. For those of us who tried trusting everybody, we know it doesn't work. Not everybody is trustworthy. And so I really want to do that vlog because there are two sides to it. Yeah, and you do think, and the other thing is, Alice, that you have the ability to actually not open your mouth. I mean, you're way better than I am. When things piss me off, I open my mouth and I say it. But Alice, you have the ability um, to contain your thoughts and process them, which is awesome. Not everybody has that filter. I think that's the word I'd have to use. But the most important thing is that I'm pretty sure we all know what a lack of trust has done. Yes, and yet we tell kids that you have to trust us because I'm your mother or father or uncle. It's only when you're an adult that you know that trust is earned. The same as respect. I think respect is earned, not, you can't demand respect. Oh, Alice, totally agree with you that yes, you end up losing an awful lot of friends, but your life is actually happier because of it. As long as you don't cut yourself off from life. Okay, so we've got a lot of vlogs for me to work on. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate that. How many of you have enjoyed having a quick, not so quick, um, broadcast on YouTube? And I'm presuming that the quality is good enough that I should repeat it. Nobody had a problem getting in, got to meet new people. Now, the question that I have is, would you rather that we do like a little mini workshop live on these topics? And then from that, I will do um, the vlog. Okay, so we'll take one of these topics each time and discuss it amongst ourselves and give all the different sort of parts to it. And then I will edit that down and turn that into a vlog in some way. I'm not quite sure how, but because to me, it's like you're not the only ones struggling with these things. You do know that. So that would then allow me to promote to Nicholas. Is Nicholas? Hi, Nicholas. Big hug, Nicholas. Good to see you. I didn't know you were there. I would have said hello earlier. Ah. Hi, Nicholas. Give your mommy a nice hug for me, please. I would appreciate that. I hear you're about to be 27. Yikes. And if Nicholas would like me to talk about any subject, you get him to tell you, Linda, and let me know. I will gladly. Hi, Jerry. Good to see you. And thank you for commenting on the vlogs recently. Yeah, we've been on for over an hour, and I'm about to close the broadcast, but it's good to know that people are getting advised, and we definitely have seen a lot of different people come in again. No, what are you doing, Alice? Well, I'm glad that it's working. That's the main thing. You know something? I just got really tired with Vaughn causing that many problems, and I think this is, I've got so many viewers that we can keep in touch with this way, so I'm definitely going to do it. I had some concerns about the privacy of this, but then I realized it's no more private than Vaughn. It's, no more private than Tiny Chat. Ah, that is great. Well, that makes me very happy, Linda. Thank you for letting us know. And Linda, thank you for being here. It's really great to see you again. And please continue when you can. All right, people. So I'm going to definitely move the Friday lunchtime broadcast through to here, and I might even do the Sunday one here as well. Why would I not do the broadcast where the viewers are? It's insane, really. And it allows me. Really, Alice, and you have such good experience and the patience. That is amazing. I am so happy that you're doing that because Alice, you must feel so not worthy. What is the word? You must feel so rewarded. Wow. Exactly. It makes you happy. Alice, I think this is one of the interesting things about life. Um, whether it's Jody talking about her watercolors or whatever, this is about do the things that make you happy, not because of everybody else's idea of the reward. Do it because it makes you feel good. And that is okay. Right? If As I said, I got to a stage probably a year ago where I thought, I need to stop doing YouTube. I'm a failure, you know, because I haven't made money at it and everybody else makes money at it. And I went, no, you didn't make money at it because you didn't do the things that people have to do to make money. And that isn't why you came here. And I had to have a really big talk to myself and go, you came to help people. And you have done that and you will continue to do that. And people still need that. So do me a favor, stop worrying about the money and just carry on doing what you came to do. And the moment I made that decision, I don't know if any of you understand that the moment I really got clear on that, I really enjoyed doing the broadcasts again. Alice, I totally agree with you. If the only time people want to listen to me is when I've got makeup on. Yeah, right. So, guys, I'll try and get some footage in the garage tomorrow. Linda, you're going to love that. Because it is pretty horrific down there. But I will try and get some footage as we've, got people carrying things out. Well, Linda, don't make me cry now because it gets embarrassing. But you know something, Linda? I couldn't help people who don't come and listen. So I always say it's a two-way trade. If you care to tell me what's going on, I will do what I can to help. All right? And that's what I love about even doing the YouTube stuff, not YouTube, the Dancember stuff. For those of you who are Dancember people, you know, I'm amazed how many times people ask me an insane question. You know, like I ordered this 2 days ago. How come it hasn't arrived in the Philippines yet? You know. So what do I know? I know this person has no concept of how long it takes to fulfill an order if the goods are already there, how long it takes to. It's a pleasure, Alice. Good to see you back too. You know how long it takes to fulfill an order, how long it takes to ship, what the problems could be. You know, and so I get a chance to actually educate people. Well, Kerry, you actually thank me more than you know because you're there very regularly on the broadcast. And I know you wouldn't be there if you weren't being helped in some way. So it's my pleasure. All right, everybody. Now I've got to find out how to make moderators. I'm certain somebody will work that out. And I wanted, Jerry, just a big hug to you and your wife as well. I know you've been probably struggling. How's the car doing with the snow, Jerry? Because you just got a new car, didn't you? Yeah, Triona, great to see you. Another Irish face is always welcome here. All right, everybody, big hugs, and we will see you again soon. This is Dear Mama Sal. I will now start advertising ahead of time what we're going to talk about in the broadcast. Now, I think. Bye. Hit the button.